think we're here. We are here on the live stream doing our thing, making sure everything is working. All right. We are live. My hair is a mess. Hi. I'm Justin the Zilla. Welcome to the live stream. First of all, if you've never been here before, as we do every week, unbox new figure, new toys. Just look at stuff, have fun. We're gonna move this a bit more. Can I zoom in? There we go. I like that a little bit more. But we're here. We are back again for another Friday night live stream. Open figures. Talk about whatever. Ramble about toys and news and what's going on in the world. Just doing our thing. Let me... There. Maybe that's what I like. But yeah, but we are here. We are doing our thing. And for those of you all who have seen it before, who have seen the show before, and I keep looking at it, do have new lighting. I have a giant light right here. I do have two, I'll be honest, but I'll kind of show a little peek. Just this giant light right there. So new lighting. So at least for tonight, it's a little simple. It's just the one light. I don't have my two smaller rectangular lights that I usually use. I'm going to show them real quick. So I usually use these lights. I usually have two on either side of the actual ring camera. Well, ring light, yeah, that I have my phone on either side, but these are no longer supporting their own weight, and they're just kind of flimsy and floppy, and they don't really stay together that well, so I thought, you know what? It's time to get rid of these. Might use them for something or whatever, probably for pictures. But they're not needed anymore. And also, this bigger light that I do have, I've had for years. Probably sometime, it's like I got it at sometime during Christmas from my grandparents. Shout out to Grandma, Pap Pap. Rest in peace, Pap Pap. You're the best grandfather I've ever had. And then shout out to my grandmother, Grandma, as we call her. And also, my grandfather's Pap Pap. It's very southern, very typical. But yeah, shout out to them. Been neglecting to use these new lights. I've had them for a bit. Well, they're not new. But I thought, it's finally time to finally use this thing. And I kind of like it already. I do have a second one, but I thought that, just doing one for now, we'll kind of see how it goes, see how it looks on the stream. So probably see next week if we add the second one. I probably will, just to have it, but it feels a lot more open. I have a lot more leg room. Nothing's really too much there. It's like, of course, I still have a giant stand right here to hold, to hold up this giant light, but but we're here. We're doing our thing. This week, this day has been insane. Been worked on my car. Hand is all mangled up because of it, because I was changing my headlights, and it's not fun with an old car. Well, older. Mine's from mine as of right now is from 2007. So a little scratched up, but kept busy, kind of just trying to get stuff done. But we're here. We are doing our thing as we do every Friday. A little late for me. Honestly, I was planning on doing this at 6, like I have been doing the past few weeks, but it's like just kind of timing, just everything. Stuff fell into place, and so now we're here at our usual time at 8 p.m. as we used to do. So yeah, anything really other updates? Nothing very much. Just been getting a fair amount of figures, opening some that I've been sitting on, so we're going to show that stuff off in a sec. Nothing for the wall, just the same as it ever been, but still looking pretty good. Gotta add more at some point. Just gotta figure out what to put there. What to do. There's always too much. Oh, I'm hitting my mic. Don't hit my mic. We're doing our thing. It's another Friday. Hopefully we can have some fun. But yeah, so I guess first, just go on and get into it. Oh yeah, before everything else though, be sure, like this video, this VOD, this live stream. I would appreciate it. Be sure to comment what you want to see on this channel. I would appreciate any feedback at all. Any kind of questions or what y'all want to see, I'll just take it. I want engagement. I want to see what you guys want to see on this channel. And then if anything else, oh yeah, the big one, subscribe. Subscribe to the channel. Appreciate it. All right. So I guess we'll go into our weekly pickups, our first segment of the show as always. Also my hair, I'm just finicking with it. The hair, it's okay. It's getting in there. The beard's good. Beard's in its perfect phase right now. Was thinking about I might shave all the rest of this off and just keep the stash, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. We'll see. It's how I'm vibing. How we're doing it today. It's crazy. It's been an insane week. Lots of good and bad stuff happening in the world. Had election day. What was that? That Tuesday? Or Wednesday? Maybe that was Tuesday. I think that was Tuesday, because that was like 3 days ago. Because it was the 4th, and then today's the 7th, so 654. Yeah, so 3 days ago. So yeah. A lot of stuff going on. A lot of good stuff. Lots of good stuff happening on that day. Crazy stuff happening now. But we're here. Oh yeah, thank you to whoever left a like. Appreciate the support. Yo, Gabe, what's up, bro? Welcome to the live stream. New lighting. Have a big light right here just shining down on me. Hopefully it looks decent. I think it looks way better already. I just have to get another light on this side at some point. That'll be next week. At some point. I've been talking about it. Hope you've been doing good, Gabe. Thank you for joining the stream as always. You've been very consistent. But yeah, we'll go ahead, show everything that we've opened and things that we've picked up this week. Gabe says I finally completed the Ninja Turtles X Godzilla line. Awesome. Hope you like them. I really actually do like them a lot. It's like, I don't know if you saw like the full, like the end of the stream. Yeah, when I got to the, well, were you there for the, it's like, because you were there for majority of the stream, I remember. But I don't know if you remember, well, I can't remember if you were there. Yeah, when I opened, the Leo X Godzilla figure, but that one's like my favorite for sure. Gabe says, I love them. I'm glad, bro. I love them too, honestly. I think that specifically it's like the Leonardo X Godzilla figure. That, but that one's my personal favorite. And then probably second is probably Raph X Rodan, and then probably the King Ghidorah is last for me, but it's still good. It's just a weird thing, but it looks great. And I'm looking at them right now because they're on the floor. Looking cool. But Gabe says, now that I finished the set, Ghidorah is my favorite. Okay. I get you. I mean, it's still a cool look. And yeah, and it's still a great concept. So I'm glad you enjoy them, Gabe. And specifically, it's like, but if Ghidorah is your favorite, I totally get it. I think that the aesthetics are all there. I like having, it's like, and I did do the whole thing, the majority of people did, is like, where you take off all the shoulder pads and have Michelangelo kind of hold them, so they're like different heads. Yes, so he has like the 3 heads. I think I definitely prefer that more to the nunchucks. Gabe says, I love how I can put the dragon heads on his hands too. Oh yeah. The best. Honestly, probably like the thing that kind of makes that figure a bit complete. Yeah, a bit complete. Yeah, it would be nice to have somewhere to store his nunchucks, but I kind of get it. It's a little complicated with that whole mold, but it's still cool. It's a nice figure, and it's a lot of fun. It reminds me so much of the of the Trendmasters Godzilla toys, kind of like your regular Godzilla stuff, not like the like the movie or even like the TV show. Well, they didn't do the TV show line specifically. It's like that didn't really come out, but doing like some of those original like Trendmasters, like those 90s Godzilla figures, all back from like the Heisei era, because that's what the vibes they kind of give me, and I love it. It's so cool. It's so kind of like retro kind of toy feeling, but it's cool. It's awesome. But yeah, but we'll get into a couple things that we have opened up. So first things are a couple figures that I've been sitting on to open up. These ones, I think I got back at Ollie's like a couple years ago, I believe. But this is the Marvel Legends Professor Egghead, and I think his name is Deadshot or like Crosshair. I can't remember. But they're cool. Cool little characters to add to my villain display, specifically with Egghead. I don't know if he's gonna get in there, but but a little bit older of figures, but I think they look great. I think they look pretty cool. Pretty nice. And then that also gets us a step further into I don't even know what her name is. But but the giant daughter of Ant-Man and Wasp, the Build-A-Figure. So we have the torso, the head, and a leg. So got plenty to go. So we'll see how it goes. But she looks all right. I mean, it's a good size. I mean, it's like a full, like almost 12-inch figure comparatively. Yeah, so about just under 12 inches probably. But still pretty good. Still pretty cool. Really like it. Okay, and then of actual pickups, because we've gotten a few things, this week, and all of them I'm pretty excited for, and some of these you might see more sooner than later. So first thing, went to, what do I want to do this first? Who do I want to do first? Okay, so went to Target first. Got stuff there. We'll look at those. But then went to my GameStop, and finally, it's like I was sitting on getting this figure, but just kind of like just needed to get it. Got the the Black Series Asajj Ventress figure. I've been needing her in the Star Wars collection, kind of like ever since like she was in there, but it's pretty cool. Been needed, and this is a nice reissue that they've done for this figure. I do like the brighter colors, and I think she looks pretty cool. Just like it. Just needed the character, and she looks great. But then also a surprise, something I was not expecting to get there at GameStop, because I was gonna get, okay, it's like because I went to the Star Wars section. It's like I was looking there kind of a little more specifically. I was like, yeah, it's like the Legends are all right. Like they have some new stuff, but I'm not really too interested because everything's so pricey, especially right now. But I saw, but they had like Asajj Ventress, and then also the Padawan like Ahsoka figure, and so I was gonna get those. Of course, I got Asajj Ventress, but instead of getting Ahsoka, because this guy was there, they still had, kind of the Total Anime Chainsaw Man figure. And now this figure, I've been after, I think, since last year, like since it came out, I think around Christmas time last year, from what I believe. And and got him for, for about like 17 bucks. He was even like a bit cheaper than he usually was. So I was like, okay, I'm getting this. Because I've been kind of after this figure, kind of like, yeah, I've been kind of like, okay, are the fates going to decide if I get this? Because I didn't want to go online, but I just wanted to see if I could get my hands on it. And now it's here. So expect this. This might be next week's live stream. So look forward to that. Because this figure just looks so cool. And I just kind of can't wait to kind of mess around with it and get a new toy line in the thing and get some anime stuff. I don't really have a ton of anime. It's mainly just Dragon Ball and then like Naruto, but after that, it's like, it's nothing. So yeah, so look forward to that because I'm looking forward to it because this figure looks badass. It looks so cool. It looks awesome. But then before we, but as I mentioned before we got to GameStop, also went to Target, as usual, a regular hunting place for figures, and got, because they had a little sale going on for these guys. Speaking of, because there's sirens out there, got 2 of the G.I. Joe Classified Legacy Firefighters, the search and rescue, the firefighters. And they had these guys on sale for like, for about like $5 off, I think it was. So I thought, you know what? Get 2. You gotta have a pair. You gotta have a couple of these guys. They look so cool. And I can't wait to open these either. I'll really have to see. It's like, I know I have ideas on what to use for pictures and how to display them, but they just look so good. And you just need, some firefighters. I've been hearing nothing but good things about these, so. And Gabe says, that's cool. Thank you, Gabe. Glad you think so. So yeah, so another cool little figure set to look forward to. So nice to have a pair of these. Always got to have a pair of kind of like of characters like these to have in the collection. And the last thing, probably the thing I'm kind of most excited about at looking at in the future, when it comes to future live streams and videos and kind of just figure-wise that we'll be looking at in the near future. Got my hands on, because I went to Walmart, of course, getting groceries and stuff, but they had the new Five Nights at Freddy's Endo series. And specifically, I got Freddy. They did have the Bonnie set, but I went with the Freddy because Freddy was only one of this one set, and they had 2 of the Bonnie set. So I thought, it's like just one for now because I've been spending a bit. So yeah. So this will definitely be something coming forward in the near future. I think literally, I think my plan with this is going to be doing a stream on December, what is it? Is it literally December 5th is when the new FNAF movie comes out? So we'll do a live stream probably on that day or even the day before, depending on what goes on. Probably going to be on the day of, but it is here. I have been waiting to get this set in hand ever since they've announced these. I think their scaling is pretty good. I like the style that they're going for. And, basically having essentially 3 figures in one. Well, kind of technically 2 because you're supposed to put this, but technically you get 3. Because you get the Endo and then you get the shell of both of the FNAF 1 and 2 looks there. So they look great. Can't wait. But Gabe says, I like FNAF. I've been playing FNAF since 2016. Same. I literally have been in it like ever since like kind of, okay, it's like I guess ever since Markiplier start playing it. It was like, oh, okay, so this is just a new big thing. And it's so good. And these are great looking figures, and I can't wait to get my hands on these. So, and definitely expect Probably a stream. I might do Bonnie by himself too. I'll definitely get the Bonnie. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely going to get all 4 of the line there, where you got Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy. So where you have the both game 1 and game 2. So, you know, definitely need to have finally some good, like some some representation of the FNAF animatronics in the collection. It's been long overdue. It's so crazy to me that they haven't really made like super articulated figures, but it seems like these are going to be the closest that we're going to be getting, at least for now. And these are based off of the actual game, so these are not based off of the movie. They are more onto the game, so that's nice. And especially having, you know, the game 2 designed where they're all withered, so pretty cool. But yeah, look forward to this at the start of December. A little bit of a see it, if you will, but a great haul of figures. Asajj Ventress for Star Wars, perfect fit, need her. Chainsaw Man from Total Anime, need it. It's just a unique figure that looks so cool, and just something different. It's something cool and something different. And then the G.I. Joe Classified series of the Legacy, the Firefighter, great figure. Got 2 of them, need them. And then, of course, Freddy, been needed to get finally some good figures of these characters. And looking forward to seeing that movie too. It looks pretty good from what I've seen. I haven't been, it's like I've been trying to, I've been purposely kind of like trying to like avoid stuff. I don't want to see too much before I'm ready to see the second one. It's like I do need to rewatch the first one just to see kind of how it holds up. I did feel, from what I remember, it's like I do feel like the first movie. It's like I get the criticism. Story isn't really all that there, but I'm like, I grew up on this shit, straight up. It's like I was there day 1. Fucking, I think high school, kind of early high school, because I graduated 2019, so 18, 17, 16, 15, probably like late middle school, early high school. Oh, so but Gabe said actually FNAF came out 11 years ago, almost 12. Damn. So yeah, probably like late middle school. At least for my age. Yeah, so it was like... Yeah, so FNAF was kind of like prime time, kind of for my age group. You tired? I'm always tired, Gabe. I'm usually asleep by this point, if I'll be honest. Because I usually work, you know. I'm usually getting up at at 3 or 4, or 4 a.m. to go to work. So usually I'm asleep by this time. So excuse me if I'm a little tired. It's been a week, but I want to look at figures. I want to talk toys with y'all because that's what I enjoy. That's what I do. That's the thing. I'm pulling an all-nighter tonight. I don't recommend it, Gabe. Get your sleep. It's important. Get your sleep. I'm finger wagging. Sleep, damn it. Get sleep. Don't be like me. Sleep. Get your 8 hours. It's healthy. Even if life doesn't really truly allow it. Also, I need to breathe. I'm just like, it's like I'm talking and then I'm thinking and then I'm like, air? I need air in my lungs, brother. But yeah, I think that's really it for pickups. A nice range. I'm staying up all night, then sleeping early tomorrow. I mean, that's the way to do it. I mean, that's basically, yeah, that's basically what I'll be doing. I'll be staying up probably until like midnight, just cleaning up everything. Because that's what usually happens. Well, usually until like 1 or 2 a.m. But I'm usually passing out by that point. Oh, so excuse me if I am yawning or seem very kind of out of energy. Because that's just kind of what it goes. And that's why I kind of like doing these streams a little bit earlier in the day now. Kind of getting to 6, maybe around 7, but today just worked out. I was like, you know what? 8 o'clock, classic time for the live stream. So we're here. We're committed. You need sleep more than me. I definitely do. I definitely do, Gabe. Every day it feels like I need more sleep, but we're going to get that tonight after doing this. Because before sleep, we have to mess around with toys, have our fun, do our thing. Because I set this all up. I planned this out. Because I want to do it. Because I want to hang with y'all and talk. And I need to look at my camera. I should stop looking at me and looking at you. Even with this lazy eye. If you notice, my face is all fucked up. Okay. All right. I think without the rambling and the cursing, sorry, I'm an adult man. It's what I do. It's my channel. What's your favorite sauropod? I guess that. A sauropod. Like what's like my categories I'm working with? Is a sauropod like a specific kind of dinosaur, or is that like a general kind of thing? I forget. I'm very bad. The long neck dinos. I don't know. I guess it's just your standard long neck. I'm not really that I'm not really that savvy when it comes to, okay. I'm very bad with dinosaur names now. It's like Velociraptor, Utah Raptor, T-Rex, Triceratops, Stegosaurus. What can I name off? Ankylosaurus? Yeah, there is different types. Okay, that's what I was thinking. I would think there are different types. Yeah, because I got a buddy who's like really into like paleontology. So he's like all about dinosaurs, but I was like, it goes right over my head because I don't know anything. Yeah, that he's talking about. Your favorite is the Pyroraptor. I think I've heard of that. That sounds cool. I think I've heard of that. I don't know. Okay. It's like I'll go for more generic, just kind of like favorite dinosaur. Also, there's Spinosaurus as well. It's probably just the basic T-Rex or Triceratops. You know, I'm a basic bitch. I'm just your basic guy. I'm like, oh, it's a dinosaur. That's cool. Can I look at that? It's like, yeah. It's like, can I see that in a good movie? It's like, no, not really. It's like you can watch a Prehistoric Planet, and those are all fantastic. They're great. I'm just bad with names. I'm always thinking about like the one that's kind of like an armadillo, where it has like the armor on top of its body. Also has like the kind of like the giant, like the kind of like the club kind of tail thing going on there. So where it has like the two, like the circles that are kind of spiked, I believe. I can't remember. But he's really cool. He's probably my favorite. But sauropods, I don't know. I probably have to look it up to know the differences. I do like I think that there are like but sauropods that have like the little like they have like little like weird like kind of like neck like protrusion puff thing. Oh, excuse me. It's like, but where they have like big like puffy like red kind of like air sacs that kind of like stick out. Like I like those, at least design wise. I think they look cool. And from watching of what I have from Prehistoric Planet, I'm like halfway through like season 2, I think. Still, It's like I saw that they kind of like it's like they would kind of like make nests in like yeah, kind of like in like volcanic kind of like areas because it kind of like incubates them. So it's like so they kind of figure that out. So they walk along that whole trench just to kind of like find a big enough hole to put the eggs in and then to incubate and then to keep going on and then just leave the yeah and leave the babies to their own thing because that's just nature. It's just nature. It's what they do. So yeah, I guess if any more questions you got for me, Gabe, or you want to see anything before we switch on over to the figure of the night, which I'm very excited to get into because it's something that I don't know. It's like I don't know like if they would have ever had made this figure beforehand or any sooner, but it is nice that we are finally getting this character in the Mezco style of figure wise, and also kind of like having a good. Wait, I'm doing so bad. It's like but also to have a good figure, like a representation of this character. So, but yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead, switch it over. We got no questions, and then gonna see how lighting looks here. So, all right, so we're gonna look at our Mezco Toyz. Red Hood, let's get him. Don't be looking at that. We're gonna get you zoomed in. Get that in here. Get this stanced up. Get this centered. There we go. And I'm gonna move my light. Light is shining onto the. It looks pretty good. Look at that Red Hood. Look at that. Look at that boy. Is that on my... No, that's on my phone. Okay. All right, but there he is. The Mezco Toyz Red Hood, a.k.a. Jason Todd, a.k.a. Robin #2, a.k.a. The one that Joker beat to death, essentially, with a crowbar, and then blew up the warehouse that him and his... I believe that him and his mom were in. So that's insane, crazy. And then also, you know, the whole lore of Jason Todd, you know, dying that way was because DC put in a fan vote. And we're like, hey, what should we do with Jason Todd? Should he live? Should he die? And everyone, like, unanimous, and a lot of people were like, you know what? Kill the Robin. Kill this new Robin. Get rid of him. And they're like, okay, bet. And they did. And it was crazy. But yeah. What can I think of? But yeah. Been a long time coming for me personally. It's like to see if Mezco would actually do this character. I know that they've done a Nightwing. I have their Robin. I don't have their Nightwing. I probably should. I know, but I'm been kind of like, it's just not my favorite really look of what they got going for Nightwing. I kind of want them more simplified, but I feel like this Red Hood was like, it was just on that level enough for me personally to make sense to get. And then also kind of like his style hasn't really changed that much from when this character originally debuted kind of later on in the comics and kind of like in other media as well. So I am so ready to finally have a Red Hood figure in my collection personally, because I've never had another Red Hood. There is no other Red Hood in this collection. But not even like an original like a pre-Joker Red Hood, because Red Hood was also, you know, Joker before he became Joker, because he had like the Red Hood helmet, and then of course like him and Batman meet, and then he falls into the acid, and it's like, oh, it's actually Joker, but we don't know who Joker actually is. So Weird. Yeah, but I think we shall go over the box so far. So, of course, Mezco being an online kind of like exclusive kind of retailer overall, kind of more selling directly to the fans. So you're not really seeing anything of the figure, but just a lot of nice art on here from the comics, like from the specific era of the Red Hood, where this was kind of a little bit later. I think when people kind of started to get into him, and in the comics he had this look, so I think it became a lot bigger. But you see we have a nice little Red Hood logo here, yeah, kind of names like with the Batman symbol there, some 3 lines just for show. Have your Mezco exclusive little print on there, or kind of sticker, and yeah, and that makes sense because this was a Mezco exclusive, and you couldn't get it anywhere else. And then 112 Collective, Pose, Play, Display, and DC TM on the top. Red Hood 112, another cool art of Red Hood at the bottom. Ages 18 and up. DC, Batman, Warner Brothers, MezcoToys.com. Warning and a barcode. On this side, you have the Batman logo up there. Have the Red Hood kind of bat logo there. Gabe, I'm back. Welcome back, Gabe. We're looking at Red Hood. And we have our 112 Collective post display. And then also on the other side, I kind of expected it to be the same as over here, but if not, you have a nice kind of profile of Red Hood with the bat symbol in there, looking pretty good. Has the Red Hood kind of nameplate there, has the Mezco Toyz, and then on the back, some nice promo kind of comic art, kind of splicing together. You have your Red Hood thing going on there, and then those lines just don't go anywhere, do they? They're just there for design, I guess. And then a 1/12 scale collectible figure featuring intricate tailored costuming and over 30 points of articulation. So pretty nice, and nice art there of the full kind of design that they're basing this figure off of. Another thing, he's all wet. He's a wet boy. And then have him running like hell. He is, yeah, he looks very mad, but he looks so cool. Mezco Toyz. It looks great. I love the art. The art is very, 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 very well done. I kind of wish that they would have put the artist's name on here, because I want to know who did this art. But, you know, it's all done very well, or at least like here or something. It would have been nice, but I guess, yeah, I guess like if they got the copyright, and you can probably just Google it pretty easily, but, you know, it would be nice. Give the artist your shout outs. But yeah, I think we're just going to go ahead and open up this guy. Going to go from just the top, where we got just the thing in here. Nothing in there, but still a nice box. I always kind of keep Mezco boxes. Still, I might get to a point where I'm like, okay, Mezco boxes, you just got to go, but we'll see in due time. And here he is. All his plastic glory. We do have a couple slips of paper. Of course, the typical 112 Collective. Welcome to 112 Collected. Designed by collectors for collectors. Make sure to not break your figure. Be careful. Take care of it. Their own little warning paper, essentially. And then also a little instruction thing. So we got the Red Hood. So we have to put on his pistol. How to use the magazine. So pretty good, but that's kind of, if I'll be honest, that's kind of simple, but you know, I appreciate any kind of instructions at all. It's nice to have, and a nice little thing to have. So thank you. But yeah, but here's the figure in all his plastic glory. Does have a 2-tray kind of thing going on here and then of course, you know, it's like with Red Hood, well, does have your, this is This is why we can't have nice things. But you have your separate tray. So this one has the stand, a few weapons, and then this has the actual figure, some other weapons, and then all the other kind of hand and head accessories and all that jazz. So we are going to open up this first. Get this. First tray open. Ugh. All right. There we go. So first we'll bring out this little display of our intricate weapons. Nice there that those are packed away same way. So first we'll go over this little stand here. Of course, it has this little arm piece. It does have a clamp, and then has some kind of joints there to move around, hold around, do anything that you really can or are able to do with it to elevate your figure. Literally, like actually, like just literally elevate it, make it, put it in the air and stuff like that. Okay, and then of course, per Mezco figure, you do also, they do also include a nice little stand here with a protective covering, but that just has the red hood, kind of, but kind of logo there, and you can see my camera. Hello, I'm waving on the other side. There's the lamp. Hold on, where me finger? There's the lamp. But there's a nice logo there. It has the foot peg already installed, but you can easily just take that out if you want to put the stand on. Might do that in a bit, but there's our covering again. And then also under the stand, kind of actually always well hidden, and I always forget about this, but you get your little 1/12 collector bag to hide, to hold all your accessories if it doesn't want a static tummy. Do I have just too much electricity coursing through my veins? But there it is, always your typical Mezco bag, always nice to have. So this first tray is over. That on to the side. We will do real quick, I do want to show how to do this. So what I usually do is I usually push the peg out either with my thumb on the back or with the actual stand is what I usually like to do. Because, it is the same hole. And I think it personally doesn't make sense. Kind of use it as a little extraction to make sure that piece will come out. And there it goes. It is out there. So it's just a simple little foot peg. And then you can just attach the stand. Let's see. There we go. But pretty cool. Nice to always have that. I kind of wish that they were more centered up, but I get it. I get what they're doing with the offset, because you want to make sure that the whole figure fits on the thing. But I think it would make more sense you put that there. But they have a specific mold that they've been using, so it makes sense with what they're doing. And then our little extra pack here of weapons so first we'll go with our big ones. So so you have this giant freaking sniper rifle, kind of all silver, but with little details here and there. It kind of also has a hint of kind of a bluish kind of sheen to it as well, like a little highlight there. We got some red here on the actual, like on the scope, red on the other side. Oh, that's my thumb. Some red on the other side of that, as you can see. Has a little black dot, has the black kind of grip there with a little like a silverish blue. Does have a magazine that can come out. Does have a bullet sculpted and painted there pretty well, and that just comes out pretty easily. You also get a extra magazine anyways. And then next, do have, oh my god, like this crazy looking knife. It's kind of all kind of like all kind of curved, all kind of like scraggly, if you will, but kind of like has the black in the middle, but looks pretty good and it's pretty shiny. And then I do like the red handles on there. So yeah, a very unique knife look, but yeah, it works. Okay, let's put these into frame. There we go. And then our last little extra weapons do have a pair of crowbars, which is kind of crazy if you think about it, to come with Jason Todd, the Red Hood, because, you know, because of the whole, like, the Joker thing, where he beats him with a crowbar. So it's like, okay, it's like you're giving him the thing, I guess. But it's pretty cool, and they're very nicely kind of sculpted. Like they're kind of like they're a little bit tinier, than I would think, but they still work pretty well. And they're painted like perfectly. Like they look like a little metal ones, even though they are plastic. So, but they look great and they feel great. There's our small tray back there, and then finally gonna get out our actual figure. All of our accessories to the side there, and here he is in all his plastic glory, looking pretty cool. And what's nice is too, is like we haven't had to use any of my little tools. Okay, and so it does come with a little like a plastic cover. Just covers them up to help them out, to not get all scuffed up and screwed up during shipping. But we're going to this camera angle now. Okay, so first thing, what do we want to do? Is I do like that they've been doing this a lot more, kind of having these separate little trays. First thing, I'm gonna get out Red Hood, keep them wrapped up as much as I can, because I want to get a look here. So I'm trying to look away. I don't really want to look directly at it. And then also our alternate head as well. I already dropped it, but good thing it's covered. So they prepared for that inevitability. But there's our Red Hood. Don't want to show. Don't look. Don't look at him. He is unwell. But here's our first little tray. Has all of our little hands here, so you have a pair of. Here, I can't really tell. I think that these are just relaxed hands. Here, kind of more just kind of like gripping hands, and then it was like then you have like two trigger finger hands. Looks like two holding hands. I would assume that's for the crowbars, and then two kind of like, it's like, I would say even more relaxed. So it's like these are kind of like more kind of like hands, like kind of like clawish or kind of grabbing. And then you have two actually pretty nicely done muzzle effects there. So that's pretty cool. We're gonna get these out of here. There they are in full. full view. If only this one. Hold on, spoilers. Okay. Have that, have that, have that. Have these. Pretty good. Pretty nice. Very, very organized and very well done. And then our second and our last tray, I should say, of accessories have our kind of these futuristic kind of pistols, our pair there, and then 2 extra magazines, and then 1 big blast there. I would assume that's for the sniper, compared to having just the 2 regular muzzle flashes there for the actual pistols. So those are all there. Looking pretty cool. Definitely want to give the pistols a little bit of a spotlight just to show off that sculpt. I mean, look at that. Still kind of basic, but does have a futuristic kind of look to it. I do wish that these were kind of movable at the top. I feel like they should be. Yeah, because there is a clear kind of like seam to this, so it would have been nice to have like a little like a sliding thing, like either for the actual top of the actual pistol or just like this little silver kind of cocked back kind of look there, but kind of futuristic, it kind of reminds me like of the GI Joe, like the animated kind of guns that they would have there, even with the pistol, and that still looks pretty devastating if you got shot by that. But nice pistols, look pretty good, and have a nice red kind of there at the top and the bottom, has that regular kind of silver on either corner there, has your metallic blue, has your black on the actual grip, and then kind of like a grayish kind of silver there, and then even has like a little like exposed kind of like a inner piece there, and it does have like that bluish kind of metallic hue, so pretty cool. And then I think with those, yeah, and so with each of those you can take out a magazine. Well, is this a mag, or is this a clip technically? Chat. Is this a clip? That's not a clip, you idiot. That's a mag. This is a mag. This is a clip. Moist critical. Always good. But it's been a nice little thing there. And you also get a pair of extra ones too. Probably in case you lose those, or if you want them just around for more accessory wise. And then you have the big kind of bullet flash there, kind of more flames, and then has a nice giant golden kind of bullet. And I think these ones do too. They just kind of, yeah, it's like, well, they're kind of just like just straight up like a yellow, a very sunny yellow, but have your 2 different kind of designs there, but they look pretty good. I think they look pretty great. Oh, but yeah, I will go for our, oh man, this dude is already, oh, okay, go a little bit there, okay, bruh. Do want to mention, I do like that they kind of have them all covered up here in some plastic. Also comes with our little, as we call, snack for later, the silica gel. Little, kind of like to keep it not wet, keep it dry, I guess. No moisture. Do not eat, though. Our snack for later. Yum. And then, of course, other thing that's packed up here. Kind of a little, like a nice little bonus to have here. Have the kind of half broken mask showing off Jason. There even has like a little scratch there. It's like it does make me wish that they would have included at least one more head to have a full-on unmasked Jason Todd, even with the domino mask. Yeah, it would have been nice. But the red on this helmet, super well done, super shiny, the white eyes, and then specifically with this helmet with having all the battle damage, so you have all that silver paint surrounding, and then nice kind of thing going on there with the look of Jason. Still has the typical kind of black hair, kind of all black hair. It's like no kind of white hair detail, which I prefer, honestly. I don't really like him having the white on the front. It's just too much, in my opinion. I'm just like, it's like, just give him black hair. He doesn't need anything more. But he looks super, super cool. And yeah, and this head sculpt is just so well done. He even has like some extra line details, has some more, a little bit of a silver ding back there, and then kind of clean, but more silver on the sides, and just a regular alternate head. Hey, Justin. Welcome to the live stream. We're looking at our Mezco Red Hood figure. He looks pretty sick, don't you think? Glad you enjoyed the stream. Give it a like if you feel so inclined. My dear friend. Yeah. I see what you mean about the red, yeah. Like, let's get a good close-up look. Like, look at this. This red is so shiny and glossy. It is so cool. And this is all kind of like painted, I assume so, but I love the helmet design. But yeah, but it looks good. It looks so good. Even have that kind of going down to the kind of like his yeah, but to his bat logo there with that yeah, with that same shiny kind of red. Justin says, I like it, to be honest. Yeah, I do like the color of of the actual like the shine of the helmet. I just don't really like the bat logo there personally. I prefer him to just have nothing there, to just be his own kind of thing. I don't really. Okay, I personally, it's like I feel that Jason Todd is kind of better not really doing stuff with the Bat family. It's like, yes, he can interact with them like once in a while. Of course, that's the whole kind of story. It's like where he comes back and kind of is killing Batman's villains. But yeah, but the suit is awesome. Like the design as a whole though, and how like Mezco has taken their own spin on this character while also taking kind of like inspiration from a specific kind of, I would say even kind of like a later era of Red Hood. It's like, so where he's more associated with the Bat family, so that's why he has the Batman chest logo on there, so pretty good. But yeah, but you have the whole, like the leather jacket here, and a nice leather too, and so this is like actual like fabric, and has a nice kind of like a fake zipper down there, so you can't actually zip him up, but high collar there, some nice stitching on the back there, and I do like the actual mass that he has. He does look a lot kind of bulkier, a bit broader. And then also have, I think, a full-on, yeah, because you do have the undershirt here with the armor padding here on the chest and onto the abs, and then some little kind of like connector kind of straps pieces here with some red at the end, kind of like a buckle or kind of like a Velcro kind of thing, it feels like. But then it's like, as you can see, there is a actual undershirt here. It does have some more padding too, which is a nice detail. Justin Switzer says, I love it. I love it too so far. And then, yeah, it's like, and then with the design too, you have the hint of the sleeves that come from this same undershirt that actually go under there, and this is the actual full-on shirt. So we'll maybe look to see if we can get this jacket off, but I'd be worried about it. I might want to keep it. Justin says, imagine that in live action. That would be sweet. It would, honestly. I would definitely love to see how they're gonna do the Bat family, especially in the DCU, if they're doing that, because it's like because they're doing Damian Wayne already as Robin in the Batman, the Brave and the Bold movie. So like it makes sense that they would maybe have Red Hood at some point, but we'll just see. But he looks so cool. He looks great so far. And I do like the whole like the color scheme that they're going on here, like where it's all kind of like mainly grays and like this brown, but you have the contrast of the red on here. It's like more kind of tactical, I guess, kind of design here, kind of more basic, but has that little thing that just makes it a little bit special. And then with the Bat logo, of course, it's like, okay, I will say one thing is like I wish that this was removable. I wish that this was a magnet. So so that you could take off that Bat logo if you didn't want it. I could see maybe if I can just change the shirt. Yeah, so we'll see. Justin Switzer says that Damian Wayne was an asshole in Titans. Was he? I didn't even know that he was in that live-action Titan show. I guess I didn't really get that far, because I really just got to the point where they had, I think, like Tim Drake in there. And he was, and they made him black. And that's fine. I don't really mind that too much. But I was like, all right, it's like he looked like the most kind of boring version of Tim Drake that I've ever seen. And I was like, okay. It's like, like he's cool. And Tim Drake is my personal favorite Robin. I do love Dick Grayson because he's the original. I like the kind of golden age kind of look of it. It's like, but then Jason's there, and I do like his costume, even though it is a bit later on, and he's not really the favorite, but it's like, but Tim Drake. What would you do? What would you do differently to the sit up on the chest? Are you talking about like the suit? Is like if I could, it's like if I'm able to maybe take off this undershirt, I could just put in like a black shirt, have it very, very plain. Because I think that's how he kind of debuted. Like he didn't have like all the armor. He had just a kind of basic, like just a t-shirt, but kind of still had this same kind of look going on. Has a full-on belt with pouches. Oh yeah, and also the gloves here that are unique and they all match there on these hands, but we'll show it here. Have a nice cuff that has like a little like a strap around to fake the glove look, but has these red kind of colored kind of knuckle protectors, and then has like a tan kind of inside with a red kind of thing there. And then on the inside of the hands you do have some more padding, which is nice. It doesn't says but maybe take off the logo. Yeah, probably. You're right. Yeah. It's like, but with like this is like, I don't know. I assume that this is pegged into the body anyways, so I would probably have to get a whole new upper torso anyways if I wanted to change this out, because it's like, because then it probably would, it would be difficult because the actual neck piece that's there is actually just sculpted and it just matches. Well, it doesn't exactly. It's like, it is gray, but it's like, I think it can make it work in some case, but I can see at some point whatever I can do. It's like trying to remove that. I actually love it though. What, the logo? It's like, I get it. Yeah, I get that. I get that it's a popular look, and I can deal with it. It doesn't kill the design for me. It's just one thing. It's like it's just one little nitpick. I'm like, I feel like it just doesn't need it. It's just it's just a little too much. It's just a little too on the nose, being like, hey, he's a part of Batman. I'm like, I get it. I know the lore. I know who this character is. I know that this is a Robin who died and then was brought back by Ra's al Ghul, and then kind of went insane and, came back after he discovered who he was. But not so much the logo, but the color is great. Okay. Yeah, the color is great. I mean, you can't deny that. This kind of like candy, kind of metallic red, it's so good. You cannot compete with this shine. And it even like, it's like, I will say, I think it looks better in person anyways. It's like, it's kind of hard on camera, but it's like, it's kind of like that. But it still looks great. It looks amazing. It looks fantastic. And then with the rest of the torso, of course, we went over the gloves, but then you have the belt there, there with a buckle, have some pouches on the side, some more kind of strappings and more pouches there, but that all connects down to the actual holsters there. Candy apple red all. He does look on, yeah, he does look, yeah, he does look like an apple. He's very much an apple guy. But yeah, it's like, and what's nice with all of these pieces is that these are actual like fabric straps. So these are all kind of adjustable very easily. So, and aren't going to kind of break that easily, but you do kind of want to be careful with it. But then with the holsters, have that same kind of design, kind of like that futuristic kind of like armor design. So where you have some metal plating on there that's in silver, and then some black plating on the inside, and then with some of that metallic blue kind of sheen all throughout. And yeah, and then there is a underside there, and that's that same kind of metallic blue coloring. And then, of course, as we saw on our instruction sheet earlier, you can store the pistols in the holsters. They are kind of big. They do kind of stick out, but I'm not going to be too picky about that. This one does not. Oh, well, that's as far as they do go in. Okay. So there he is. Holsters and all, kind of get them a little more evened out, but he looks pretty good, all decked out. But then down here we have some knee pads as well, and then there is some like unique stitching, specifically when it comes to the legs there, how they're kind of separated, but it's just your regular kind of fabric made pants. And then you have some kind of kneecap kind of armor pieces there. Yeah, what do you call knee pads, bro? And they're just like, and yeah, and they're just kind of basic, just your basic kind of like your silver, but have like a little like line work there. Another full strap thing, continuing down the pants, and then down to the boots. Some nice boots. Does have its own kind of unique strapping going on there, but has some silver kind of buckle to the ends, and has the little, yeah, then has like the full, like the actual, like the strap kind of sticking out there with some of its own metal pieces. So pretty good. And then you got some gray in the middle, have gray kind of used on there for those straps, and then black for the actual kind of like surrounding of the actual leg. And then down to the actual shoe part, have the all black as your base, and then that same kind of buckle kind of design there from the top of the leg, but going down until it's kind of more simplified. And same colors with all that darker kind of grayish kind of color. And it's like, it's kind of bluish too, but I think it is more kind of like just on just the gray side. It might be just my light too. And then has the kind of like the regular white of the shoes, but they're all like mucky and dirty, but nice treads there to actually have some. So that's pretty good. And then have peg holes to work onto your stand. So pretty sweet. So we can go over, I guess, oh, he didn't fall. Well, he took a tumble onto the table, but he did not fall off our table. But I guess we can go over our articulation. I want to see if I can do this a bit better there. How do we want to do this? Once I get into it, I won't be able to see what I'm doing. Okay. Okay, so at the head, do have, and you can show this off, do have your ball. Oh, yeah, that has a rod that goes down to another ball. Yeah, that's connected to this neck piece that is also connected to another ball at the top of the torso. So looking up with all that together, you can look up about that far. Not too shabby. You can look down almost all the way, like down to his chest, and nearly he can like almost just barely, but that's just because of how thick his neck is. And then can tilt side to side, have your full rotation, just kind of crazy action going on there. Looking pretty good. And then at the shoulders, you do kind of want to be careful because you don't really know what's really going on there, but I assume we're going to have hinge there. As always, you can go up about that far. You can go forward about that far, back about that far. That's pretty good. I do want to try to go more forward, but I don't want to push it that much. So you can really only get that much. Maybe if I come in a little bit more forward, but I don't really want to mess up my thing. Oh yeah, and I even missed, they do have like little like fake pockets on the front of the jacket too. I don't know, what are those fake? Those might be real pockets. Hold up. Is that actually? No, I think that those are just rectangles to look like pockets. But they're pretty good. And then at the elbow, I think it's, okay, it is a double jointed elbow there, as you can see there by that. But can go up pretty far, not bad. And then at the wrist, do have your typical little joint there, so where you can have it hinge up and down, and then can rotate. Well, you can also take off that wrist thing to help a bit, but you can rotate it, go in and out. So pretty good. We're going to put our cuff back on because that can come off pretty easily, admittedly. Yeah, also, it's like, I didn't even mention, but now that I look, it's like he does have some nice kind of like vein work and musculature to the forearms, and it's like, and there probably is a whole body on here that's probably pretty sculpted pretty well. Looks good. But then we're going to get to our torso. So I believe there is a bit of a crunch here, and then one at the one at the waist too. So you can go forward about that far and come back, because I do want to be careful. I don't want to overstretch this, but go about that far. Not too bad. Do want to kind of be careful with this. And then, oh yeah, I can also rotate. I feel like that this is kind of like just pulling the pants down, or making this come up a bit more than it should, but it's still good. I think it looks great still. And then, yeah, a little bit of rotation there, kind of side to side a bit. Not a whole lot, really. Kind of scared to mess with the legs. Kind of only go about that far. That's not very far. Well, if he's standing up straight. So that's about, that's fine. It's okay. Going back, nearly nothing. I mean, you got a little bit, but that's asking a lot. Then hinge out. Well, not even hinge. It's just movement out. Not that great. Do have an upper thigh cut or an inner thigh cut, I guess, there. I'm not really sure. Do have a double jointed knee. You can hinge. Wow, like that much. That's pretty good. Does take a couple clicks, but it gets there. Does have a boot rotation at the top of the boot. Does have a rotation there at the shoe too, but hinges forward. Well, it's another ball with a rod. With another ball, so goes forward about that far, goes back, and does have a little bit of a rocker, so he'll be all right. But it's mainly on the rotation that they're really banking off of. It's like I will say it's like these knee pads do move a lot, and it makes sense because you're grabbing by the knees. But it's like I'm trying to figure out where my knee is so that these look more natural. It's still pretty good. I do want to start kind of messing with him. Okay. Before we start messing with him for real, we are going to change out our heads just to give that look. There's our Jason Todd, already just looking pretty cool, if I do say so myself. Looking pretty sweet. When did this move? But pretty sweet, pretty nice. I still would have liked to have another alternate one that does have that would be like a fully unmasked Jason, but I understand. I understand what they're doing. I understand what they're trying to convey. Just would be nice to have the whole kind of Jason Todd head included to kind of complete this whole look transition. Because where it's like, all right, he's wearing the helmet, and then someone breaks the helmet, and so he's like, you know what? No more. Bruce knows. The cat's out of the bag. All right, so then we are going to switch out his hands. We are just going to go for the big kind of just dual pistol thing. Our typical. I would say, is it more usual for him to have just the two pistols? I guess I do think about, I think he would have the two pistols. I think that makes sense. Because he does use a sniper, and that makes sense why it's here on the regular. But I think it is more so with the dual pistols. Because he's a cool guy. So he's going to have two pistols. And I do believe, and also I forgot that the actual, like the kind of like bottom of the leather jacket is wired. I don't know if this is or not. I don't think so. It doesn't feel, but this is. So you have like the wind. Kind of blowing, but you can do like look at that aura. Actually gonna give him the red. Yeah, look at that. Look at that dude. Well, doesn't even Yeah, it does need to stand a bit better. I think the treads do kind of... Well, he does have small feet. A bit. They're kind of small. But we're gonna put in one of our muzzle flashes effects to show that off. If it chooses to go in, there we go. Yeah, let's do something that makes... We're going to be working on this. Bruh. All right. Trying to get a good pose with this guy. Here we go. There we go. Wish I didn't have to cover up the face so much just so he's looking at it when he's shooting. But there he is. Still very shiny, but look at that. That's just so cool. That's awesome. All right. So what do we want to do next? I guess we can do, since we already have another pistol hand, can do him, well, with a trigger finger hand, I mean. We can do the sniper rifle. Oh, which would probably require one of the more relaxed hands. Probably this hand, from what I'm looking at. Oh, I need the right actual hand. See, that feels good. This one, yeah, I think it's this one. Okay, so we'll use our kind of relaxed a bit hand. Get our pistols. Moved up here. There we go. Pistol is huge, by the way. I don't really know how you're supposed to... All right. Okay. This is all right. It's just kind of basic. It's just him holding it. I think it looks pretty cool. Pretty neat. It's kind of shiny. It's a lot of silver. Maybe wish that there was like more kind of like, I guess kind of like black or kind of red aesthetics kind of going on here to kind of break up this super shiny rifle. But it looks pretty cool though. It looks neat. I'm just gonna like him looking away. Kind of like, oh, did I do that? Maybe. Maybe I just shot a guy. Who cares? We probably, do we want to do, I guess we could try to do a full-on shot. I don't know how I'm going to be able to do a looking through the barrel. I don't know how you're supposed to. How do I? Oh, even just like that kind of is actually kind of better. Hold on. See, I'm trying to get this hand to go where I want it, but it just can't go that. Though. break this stupid thing. Bro. Okay. This is fine. This is fine. Look at him. With that sniper rifle. That barely can go into his hand because there's so much tension. Well, that's fine. All that work. And I'm like, you know what? It's over. All right. Next setup. I guess we want to show him. We'll show him with the knife first. We'll get him just a regular right grip hand. And then give him... I guess we'll give him fist. Well, what was he had on before? Is that just fist? No, he had... Oh, he had a hold... Okay, yeah, he had the holding hand. So maybe I should do the full-on splayed out hand. Then we'll put the blade into his hand. Kind of wish that there was like a sheath for this. I guess you could put it in the back if you wanted to, because since the... Well, no, the back of the belt is actually plastic. You can see there how the different shines and how it interacts with the light. This one I kind of want to do. Or do I want to do more of... Oh, I want to do more of a full-on crouched pose going on here with this red hood. Kind of maybe. Maybe doing opposite. Oh. With the underhand. Kind of like a sneak attack kind of situation. Like, and you can try to get him. Don't want to push it too much. Still want to kind of be careful with this jacket, but I know I can kind of flex it at least a bit. That's pretty cool. That's nice. That's pretty cool. Oh, look at that. Okay. Next, we are going to do one of the crowbars. At least one. Might do the duo, but I'm like, The crowbar is crazy to include, though. Because with the lore, we all know. Jason Todd, as we've said before, I think like 2 or 3 times now, beaten by the Joker, getting hit by a crowbar over and over again. Oh, we can do... Bro. Look at the aura. Look at the aura that this exudes. This is a beautiful figure. I can just envision what I want to do with this. This is so cool. This is awesome. Kind of like that Two-Face kind of thing. It's like in the hood. But with... inside the red hood is Jason Todd. And then that's like an art kind of thing. But it just looks so cool. It looks so awesome. It's a nice little pairing. Kind of like a whole scene I can imagine where him and Batman are, and he's like, I knew you haven't lost your touch, Bruce. And he's like, has the half mask, has that thing. Or this is kind of like him like finally like revealing and being like, I'm the monster you created. Kind of thing. What do we want to have him posed with? I guess with the... I would think with the guns. Yeah, with the pistols, I think it makes more sense. I don't mind the knife, though. But I think I'll just go with the two. Pistols. That just makes sense. For the red hood. Where's my other? That's my thing. That's that one. That's that one. That's that one. That's that one. That's that. That my one. No, that's my regular holding. Where's my other pistol? Oh, it's in the hand. What am I doing, bro? I'm not paying attention to what I am saying or doing. Yeah, so that's probably just my one. There he is. He does have a bit of a... There's like one little string that like just won't get tucked in. Keep trying to get it, but I'm just like, I keep struggling with it. I keep messing with it. There we go. Kind of wish I could just cut it off right now, but I don't want to do that on stream. Wish I could hide that better again, but keep messing with it. If I do. I'll tuck it up there just for now. Okay. It's not perfect, but it's there. Yeah. Look at this man. A unit. Immaculate. He does got some shoulders. I think that, like, yeah, that's just because of the jacket, but man, does it work? Does it work so well? Because I do kind of think of Red Hood as a bit more leaner. Kind of even just going by the actual art on the box. Hold on. Kind of comparatively. You can see how they kind of done their own thing based off of that. Where that's still even kind of like in the comics still more simplified. It looks more of like a full one-piece kind of bodysuit, but then he has just the regular straps. And then has more kind of like blue all throughout kind of there. It's kind of like, I guess, a silver, but that's just how they do it. But then it's like, like the hood's a little bit more smaller, more simplified. And then the actual and then the jacket I think is more kind of like conformed to the body. But but this is Mezco's version, kind of based off of this more comic version, even though there is like a new version of it, which looked weird apparently. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna keep looking at this one because it's great. It's a great design. Yeah, the aura, bro, the aura. Bop, 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 bop. All right. There we go. This freaking arm, bro. There. Yeah, that's my guy. That's my Red Hood. He looks so badass, though. It's so well made. I think if they were gonna make any version of Red Hood, it would just gonna be this one. It makes sense that they would have their own kind of spin on it, as they kind of do with most of their kind of Batman kind of universe stuff more specifically. But they do have like, Golden Era, but more modern, I would say. Especially characters, they always have their own kind of spin on it comparatively. But it looks great. Looks awesome. We can even get them another thing over here, but you can get them on the stand. standing there, looking pretty sweet. I might prefer just him just being just on the thing. Do I want to do that? I kind of like him there, though. And I do like having just the stand just there as an example. And then we're going to put everything in this bag. Can I get over? Because this is so cool. And yeah, this was a great time, honestly. Posing and playing with this thing. I really like this new setup, honestly. This new lighting does make it a bit easier to kind of get my hands on these figures. But this is way better. Get this rifle. Get stuff. I kind of wish I could like store some stuff on him. I might try on the knife just to see, but everything else is going in the bag. Go in the bag. Go in the bag. Go in the bag. The bag. The bag. Do want to try to get the knife somewhere. Okay. Kind of pried it a bit. But you can't get his knife. Not there. Okay. Spidey Webs, welcome. Welcome to the stream. We have our Mezco Toyz Red Hood. As you can see, this thing wants to focus up. Bro, you good? I hate this thing so much. Just choose the thing. You want that one or you want that one? You can pick one, camera. Bruh. There's the bag. There's something. It just won't. It just won't do it. I'm sorry. I hate this. I hate that this thing. Stay on that. Chill out. Well, we're going to start our comparisons. We're just going to get right into it. So we're going to do our main kind of, my main kind of like Justice League team I want to do first. Is there anyone I'm missing? No, I'm not going to do them, at least not yet. First, it says a person that's under that mask is Robin. Yeah, that is Jason Todd, the second Robin. And then we are going to compare him first with our Golden Age Batman that has a Sovereign Knight Batman head. That's looking pretty good there. And we're going to get on. Let me make sure he's camera ready. Okay. Our Mezco Toyz Superman. He doesn't look perfect right now, to be honest. He took a bit of a tumble. But he looks pretty good. Of course, I think height-wise, you know, it's going to balance out when we take him off. When we take him off of the stand anyways. But there they are. Batman kind of blows out this... but Superman, he kind of blows up all the white balance. Maybe he's got to be like more... See, that feels more like Superman there. Look at that. You might not be able to get in there. There we go. Look at that big muscly man. That's Superman. His heads don't really stay on that well. But he's still a good Superman. I do like it. I just have to get it like just perfect whenever I'm doing these shots. Like this is okay. This is already like way better looking. Yeah. Okay. That's great. That's great. That's great. Okay. So I'm gonna fall and hurt myself. But that would not be good. Remove the obstacles. All right, next up, and kind of ending off our first section with the Justice League, have the Mezco Toyz. They're kind of more modern Wonder Woman. And kind of my favorite of the ones that they've made, kind of design-wise, in my opinion. Yeah, I do get it's like it very much is based off of like the more modern comics and off of like the movies more specifically compared to the classic kind of, I guess, Golden Age. It's not really Golden Age, it's just a classic version, I guess it was. But you know, but it was original kind of version, but kind of Mezco vibe, because they always have their own design, especially with DC. But this one's still pretty good. But I would like a more, actually, like more classic one, or even like another version, just in general. Then we have the McFarlane Toys Martian Manhunter. His more modern design as well. Has the more armored up kind of padding compared to the classic design, which is which is a basic kind of like costume going on there with a big X, I think, across his chest. And it was like bright blue. So a bit different, you know, but works, I think, with this era of DC and with these designs here. So pretty cool. All right, so moving on to some of our other variations of Batman and different kind of versions, and then also, you know, to do the obvious first comparison with the Mezco Toyz Robin Boy Wonder, the Dick Grayson version. But we do have to remember that Jason, yeah, when he started, he did essentially look like this. So this is still an accurate, I would say, pretty interpretation. But it would be neat to see each Robin in their different forms. Because, because we've had Damian now, and we have Nightwing, and now we have Red Hood. So you might as well give us a Jason Todd Robin, like an actual one, and then a Tim Drake one. A Tim Drake one would be so great. Please give us a Robin of Tim Drake or Jason Todd. It would be so nice because we can finish off all of our Robins if we wanted to. Because since we already had the Dick Grayson and we also have the Damian Wayne one, which I still need to pick up. I don't even have that Mezco. But they're pretty cool. But here's the Golden Age Batman that came from the 2-pack with Two-Face and the Golden Age Dick Grayson Robin, the Boy Wonder. Kind of being like, okay, it's like, so this is Dick, but it can also be Jason because Jason did look like this in the beginning. So you kind of still have that display there to kind of feel like, hey, this was one before that. Or if you want to do a picture idea, it would make sense. But the Batman's all right. He doesn't really match him that well. And I feel like by the time he had Jason, I feel like his costume was black, or was it still blue? Because I remember like in the actual comic, where Jason dies, he does have like blue, but I think he has like very big pointed ears for Batman. So I don't know. But this is kind of what I think about. This is the kind of Batman like who meets this Red Hood kind of during this time where he's a little bit older, kind of more in his prime, past the early on stage. And this is Mezco's own. So this is the original, the Sovereign Knight. I have him with the short ears, head there, and then kind of when I think of when I think of this Batman, it's like I think of this Alfred that I pair with him, which is the Mattel Alfred Pennyworth. He is pretty tall, to be honest, but maybe if you put him in the back, well, like it's okay, but it's a little noticeable. But he's all right. Alfred's good. Alfred's good for now. He's a little tall, but I do like him as a figure, even though he doesn't really want to stand that well. But I do like having a pretty good Alfred on the shelf, because you can't have a Batman without an Alfred, at least one. But they're pretty good. And I do like that Batman and that Red Hood specifically kind of paired up, because I could see these two kind of fighting it out. And then for doing another kind of just do we want to do this pair? This might work better. Okay, so we're going to do another Mezco pairing, but dip a little bit into our villains. And also doing a different version of the characters, and specifically ones of Batman and now of Joker. We have the Mezco Toyz, I think, Darkest Night Batman. I'm trying to remember which one this was. Yeah, this was their last one that they did, like, of this older mold. And I just really liked it, and I was just like, oh, you know what? I'm going to buy that immediately. And I was actually featured on their page on Instagram because of my picture that I did, because I did like a whole, like a barrel kind of explosion scene, and it was really fun. And I think he looks pretty good. Even if you give him, I could even give him like a young, kind of Batman, or a Bruce Wayne head. Let me grab my accessory. There we go. Hold up. Like, look at that. Look at that. This man is massive. This is a massive dude. Kind of does make sense for him to be older, though. Because it's kind of like The Dark Knight Returns, where he's a bit chunkier. Then also have the Mezco Toyz Clown Prince of Crime Joker, or as I call him, kind of gangster Joker. And this does feel like a little bit later. It's like, I think this is kind of, I don't know if this is kind of like this same era as this Red Hood. I feel like Joker was still a bit more classic back then, because that was like right before, I think right before like the Jared Leto one, because that's kind of like, I think what inspires this Joker, which I'm kind of like, it's like, yeah, it's interesting to have. He's neat, but he's just not that amazing. And also he keeps losing his gun. Where did it just fall on the ground? Where is it? There it is. He does. He has a little Uzi, a little purple and green. He's all right. He's fine. I don't know if he really works with this specific version of Red Hood or Batman. It kind of works with the Batman, in my opinion. I feel like Joker would be like old enough and crazy enough to do that by that point, and Batman's still old, but kind of bigger. But Joker kind of like, you know what? It's time for a reinvention. Because it kind of reminds me of, it's a bit of Batman Beyond in the Joker movie, where he kind of like takes over like Tim Drake's body through like a virus kind of chip, I guess he has on his body, or some kind of thing, or some kind of like serum that brings the Joker back. So it's insane. So it's like, it kind of reminds me of that, because he has like a shaved head and a very basic kind of costume. Well, it's all black, so it's more futuristic, I guess. Or that's the thing. But then, okay, moving on. So for another Batman, but one who uses guns, we have the McFarlane Toys. What is he? The Thomas Wayne Batman, the Flashpoint Batman from McFarlane, who is humongous. Still doesn't even fit my frame. And then we also have the McFarlane Toys Nightwing, which I will say is not really that impressive. There's just one I was kind of like, you know what? We're starting. It's like, well, this was like after I got like a couple of them already, and I was like, kind of want to track this down to see how this early one is, and I think it was for a good price, so I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'll just get it. But it's fine. It's not the greatest in the world, but it's alright. It's just like, ugh. It's just that, like, the proportions are just, it's just all wrong. Even like this, like, for its time is pretty good. And this was still early on. But this Nightwing, it's just not it. And you're too big. Too tall. Too tall. Come on, McFarlane. Why'd you not get it? Why'd you not get the form of that? Why do you gotta make me buy Mezco? Alright, shit. Well, the shit's good, though. Well, there is this, though. Okay. So then now, moving on to all my villains, and then kind of other things. Yeah, they're going on here, but here's our couple of our main Batman villains, and some that we are very familiar with, and then specifically with this Golden Age Joker, who I, of course, brought out the crowbar for. He's very white. Oh. But Spidey Webs has said, what is your favorite Spider-Man in your collection? That would be the Spider-Man and Friends one there. We're going to put that back to that. That just looks better. We got Penguin over here. That kind of balances it out. That's good. And that is the McFarlane Toyz version. So that's still pretty good there. And they look pretty good. I do like this Joker with this Dark Knight. It kind of... Okay. I'm gonna grab Robin. He's gonna be here. Because this is the inciting incident. We have to do the shot. Because this might be an actual shot I just might do. Because I do got to do a Joker pick. It's due nearly by the end of the month. But look at that. So that's crazy. Take that kid. You take a Robin. You beat it with a crowbar. And it becomes a Red Hood. But yeah, it's like, yeah, but then Penguin looks pretty good too. A bit, he's still a bit big. I think he's a little too tall. He's supposed to be a bit smaller, but I don't really mind it too much. It's even kind of like more closer like to realism, but he's still small. It's like, I get it. It's like the top hat kind of adds a bit, but he's still big, but I don't really mind. And then for our last, kind of like more kind of like, okay. Yeah, just another, well, do we want to do, we could do, who should I, okay. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out what I should be doing for comparison-wise. Okay, so we're going to do these two. Okay, so for our last two kind of main Batman specific villains, have a Mezco Toyz Deathstroke. They're, I think that this is their regular first version, a very early Mezco. This might be like technically the, well, I do have the Dark Knight Returns previews exclusive figure. I didn't bring that out for this because I didn't think it really fit, because I already have the the Darkest Night, I think it was. Batman, the other old man. And it's kind of more closer to that, this kind of era of Red Hood. And then here's my custom Killer Croc done by my friend Just In Case on Instagram. I got this off of a post he did, and I won a little kind of thing for it, so it was cool. And it's a cool figure because he used the Abomination game reverse body. Just put a like a custom head on it, and it is articulated. Can't move around, does have just silly putty on there, but it works very well. And then it has some bloody wraps on there too. Because it's just badass. Here, let me try to get this. He's so big. Can you? It's insane. It's so cool though. It looks great. Yeah, great little parent there. It's an awesome custom. And then doing what do we want to do? Okay, I'll do those two. Okay, so I'm gonna get 3 figures out for this one. So we have the Mafex Cyborg Superman, my little Kit Bash Lex Luthor, using a Marvel Legends Spider-Man the Animated Series Dr. Octopus, and a Professor X head, and my Lois Lane. Just to kind of have a extra person in there. Have my variety. Also show off more of the Superman collection. Because I'm kind of proud of what I've got so far. And I think that they would kind of interact pretty well in the comics. So, yeah. I think it looks pretty good. And yeah, it's a nice variety of kind of different things going on here. So, yeah. Pretty cool. All right, so then our last comparison going to be with 2 bigger figures. First one, we are going to get this up a bit, is with a, is this, who made this? This is a, might be just a regular, just a generic DC figure, but this is an Arkham kind of clown kind of guy here. Kind of but one of Joker's goons. He doesn't have a weapon. But he has one arm and a bunch of tattoos. I can see Jason fighting this guy. Maybe at some point. Dude is already big though. And then one more character. One I think he would actually work well with, would be kind of fun to do, and a character I love I need to see more of is King Shark. I don't know if they have anything to do within the comics. It's just like a weird. It's one of those pairings. It's like you put you put King Shark like with any character that's like as serious as the Red Hood in DC. It's like yeah, you're gonna get some comedy gold. Get this guy out of here. But look at it. King Shark. Pretty cool. Yeah. I think that is it for everything that we're looking at. I hope y'all have enjoyed the live stream and like the new setup. What do I want to do? Just keep them right there and I can just do the rest around them. So I'm going to do Robin here. We'll get old Batman here. What do I want to just do here? Bro. How can I... And then... I'm gonna do Joker in there. Then, oh, sorry. On my other side, what do we want to do? Kind of want to put the Justice League in here. Well, I want to put Alfred. Alfred's cool. Probably Deathstroke. That feels right. Killer Croc maybe. Here, what do we do? We'll do Deathstroke. But I gotta do someone else. Who's more relevant to Jason Todd than there's... Yeah. I guess Alfred is the most relevant of them all. Because I don't think he really fights Killer Croc. He doesn't really do anything with King Shark. Nothing really much with Superman at all. Older Batman? Not bad. Not bad. I don't want to just do just the Justice League, but we gotta do mostly Batman. So, yeah. We'll just give him... You... Oh, you can't even... Man, I wish this camera would just choose what it wants to do. Just do that. for it. There we go. All right, and then I think I could do, okay. We'll do Croc back here. All right, and then Croc. Why does the thing keep changing? And we got King Shark. Pretty cool. I'm gonna do and I lied a bit. Works pretty well. There we go. That's a bit more balanced, actually. Is that better? That feels better. That looks better. Okay. Anything else you want to add to this scene? I guess I could add like 2 more figures if I wanted to. What the heck? We would have put in a Superman. Just for Superman's sake. And then for more modern side, we'll put in Wonder Woman. Two Justice League. Yeah, there we go. I think that. Oh, what the? Hey, Son of Rob, what's up, bro? Welcome to the live stream. I'm surprised you're still live. I must be catching the end. Yeah, you're here at the end, bro. Oh, it's good seeing you again. It's been a while. But yeah, we just looked at the Mezco Toyz Red Hood figure, as you can see, and it is great. It meets most of the expectations. It is so good. It's worth the hype. It's worth it. It's so cool. But yeah, I guess if y'all want to see anything, got any questions before we get off of here, I'll plug for a minute. Be sure to check out the Instagram. There's going to be some pictures there soon. So look out for that. Yeah. Son Rob says, I haven't been catching them lately while you're live, but I still watch after it's published. Well, I appreciate it, Rob. Appreciate the support, bro. Always looking out. You're doing too. But it's nice to hear that you're checking them out still. Hope you're still enjoying them. They're pretty cool figures. No problem, dude. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Oh. But yeah, but if you got any questions, Rob or anyone else, if they join in, if you want to see anything, if you want to see maybe like our pickups, just to do one more little roundup of everything, or got any questions. Oh. Yeah, it's been kind of like a routine. Haha. Yeah. I mean, it's been the same for me. It's like I've just been trying to fit this in whenever I can. I just kind of have it set up, and I'm just like, all right, at some point, maybe on a Thursday, maybe a Friday, maybe a Saturday. I've been thinking about it. We'll see. But yeah. But doing like these, like it's always just moving in. The Mezco figures all look so great together like that. Honestly. It's very cool to kind of like have this much of kind of like DC in the collection, having a good kind of variety. I think I still need a lot more. It's like I just need less Batman, because it's mostly just Batman stuff, because that's what they all make. Because they're like, yeah, it's Batman, it's gonna sell, and it's like, yeah, it does. But like, can we get a bit more variety? I would like more, kind of like more Justice League characters, more villains for sure. Give me as much as you can. Especially kind of like more like Golden Age. I'm just loving like all the Golden Age kind of classic versions of stuff. Specifically with DC. With Marvel, I can go either way usually, depending on the era. But I do like my classic, my retro kind of versions, my vintage style figures, even with Marvel Legends these days too. Unless they're like the movies or shows or other kind of designs. Oh, yeah. Oh, I totally agree, dude. It's always Batman variants. Yeah. Plenty of options on just Batman alone. Even when you just go down, like specifically just down just McFarlane Toys. It's just been a lot of Batmans. And I get it. I understand. He's the DC character. But was it Superman first or was it Batman? I think it was Superman, right? But was that even DC then? Because then it was like, oh, my thing. Excuse that. That was very loud. I apologize. My thing was... Superman was first, I think. Okay. Because I do think about like DC, because that's like Detective Comics when they were called Action Comics. Okay. Okay, because that's what I was thinking. I was like, I was thinking like Action something. And then, yeah, and then they were like, oh, I think it was like, it was like a different company name, I think. And they just had like two different series. Like one was Action Comics and then one was Detective Comics. But everyone just, I think, went on to Batman probably super hard after Superman. So they were like, oh, it's like, oh, we kind of actually like DC as a thing. Because that's what we're just going to keep making. Because they just kept making, I think, just so much Batman. I believe so. At least that's my running theory. Yeah, that's my headcanon of the whole scenario. But these figures are great. Nice having variations of our classic characters. Pretty cool. Alrighty, but if there's not anything else, any other questions, I'm going to give a couple more minutes just to make sure before we say goodnight. But yeah, y'all, be sure, like the video, comment what you want to see on the channel, and subscribe. Do the things. I appreciate all the support for those that have been watching it consistently. Alrighty. I just keep looking at this display. All right, Rob. Sounds good. He's going to rewatch this. Let's see what I missed. Well, sounds good, Rob. But I'm going to hop off, if you don't mind. Yeah. Well, have a good night too, Rob. Appreciate it, dude. Good seeing you, bro. Thank you to everyone who joined the live stream. People who liked. God. Oh, yeah. And then also the top fans. Might as well do this anyways at the end as I have like a little thing chart. We got Justin Switzer, number 1 at 75 XP. But Silent Rob just right on the tail with 75 as well. Spidey Webbs at 75 and Gabe at 75. So thank y'all for joining the live stream. Thank you for the likes. Y'all have a good night. Be cool. To be you. Goodbye.